So, I'm sorry, this is the second part to that vampiric ritual. And again, the reason why I'm not as clear as I can be is because it's 4:44 right now in the morning. And so, and I'll explain exactly why I'm up at this time later. So, an important point that I missed in the first one is in regards to someone that she was seeing. She had still been going on to a site called Are You Interested fairly regularly. That's where we met. I found this out by accident, actually. I was working on her computer, and what I noticed by accident, her screen popped up, and it showed that she still was messaging like hundreds of people on it. And that was another reason for me to be like, she must be lying to me here. There's something else going on. But it wasn't really till I had that dream that really made me think about it. But so after that dream, I did some research on an individual that she told me about on the 3rd week of our dating. And this is a very important point. This individual was the king's son of Iran. I can't remember the name of the sort of banner that he goes under, that family line goes under, but he was the king's son, very powerful. I think how they said that he has $20 million to his name or more, and what she said to me is that this guy is courting her, and that was in the 3rd week of our dating. I was like, holy crap, seriously. And I actually said, maybe you would be better off going with him. What kind of opportunity, like when does that kind of opportunity ever arise? And I want what's best for her. And so I said, maybe you ought to do that. But she's like, no, Brent, I want to be with you, and so forth, which I felt very honored about. But anyway, so this individual continued messaging her quite steadily, and I didn't really look into it. It's just, okay, this guy is, I guess, very interested in her, and that's great, I guess. But, I hope she stays honest and true to me. But, when these sort of things came to a head here last night, then I started to look into it a little bit more deeply. And what I can tell just off of the internet research that I could find, this family line seems to be pretty in-depth in the occult too. I can't find that much about it, but a fair bit into the occult from what I can tell. So that's just an important thing to keep in mind. So that brings us up to today, when I finally told her, we probably ought not see each other. And then instantly she's like, lots of laughs. Well, thanks for the gift, which I gave her a computer a few weeks ago for Christmas. And it was like there was no emotion at all, and I was blown away by that. And she actually called me soon after, because I did say, but I still love you. I just don't, I want you to be transparent with me. I can't be in a relationship where there's so much hiding. I'm not into that. I need a certain level of clarity and openness, and that's why I'm not going to see you. If you don't, so that's the ultimatum. If you don't be transparent, I cannot be with you. And in the end, we kind of have gone, like, in the end though, we've decided, that was it. So I've still been thinking about this idea that this is all a ritual, and what happened tonight has made it all the more stronger, and that is why I'm making this video. Otherwise I probably wouldn't have. What makes this case a little bit less strong, but I'm going to be honest about it, is that the site that we're located on has had a couple break-ins. So I'm not living in a home. I'm actually living on my work site in a sort of apartment building within it. And there has been over the last year, a couple break-ins. So that makes this case a little bit less strong. However, this evening, I was lying in bed, and I heard like some kind of cracking just down the hallway. So I kind of ran out a couple times. I heard it a few times. There's nothing there. I'm just paranoid. I'm fucking way too paranoid about this. I was sleeping, so I was not like, I'm not crazy paranoid, but this stuff has been on my mind. But after about the fourth time, there was an axe in the back room, so I just grabbed it just because, right, out of safety. And there is another person living at the end suite who he's been trained. In regards to, he knows how to deal with people very well. He's lived a hard life, and he's a very strong individual. Anyway, so I had the axe, and after about the fourth time, though, it's like, this is strange. And then I looked out to my car, and my trunk was open, and I know I hadn't left my trunk opened. The only thing I could think of on the trunk side was it was frozen, and then it would pop up. But that didn't make much sense to me for the following reason. It hasn't been freezing here for like all day, so it would have popped up through the day. So I found that kind of, whoa. So I went over and I woke up my friend, my coworker, and we did a bit of a scout around outside. There was no trace when we went out. However, when we came back, the door lock, we had left our door open. We had left the door in the office, or not the office, but in his room open. But I had checked the lock on the front door twice. And after we came back in, the door had been opened, so that meant somebody was inside. Nothing had been taken. However, again, regarding my car, the only way you could get into my car would be one of two things. I leave my door unlocked, so they open. But then they opened the door, popped the trunk, and then they left the door slightly ajar. So I was certain, and he was certain too, my coworker, that there was somebody on the site here. Which again, there has been a few occasions of, but never has anybody ever tried to go in the office, for one thing. And the purpose, my car is very, very, very old, with nothing in it, really. There's a few CDs, but there's essentially nothing in it. To me, there was really no purpose to go into my car. And the fact that they left the trunk up was very, very strange to me. So that essentially wraps up what has happened. I can interpret as to perhaps why they were opening my car, and whomever it was, and as to why they were in the office in the living center here, which again doesn't have that much but our personal belongings. So it's been a very strange few days for me, and I am of the belief that however strange these things, however odd, however crazy this all may sound, cameras are lightsabers, and I rely strongly on my intuition, and I believe, even though I don't have an economically strong life, my intuition has served me well. I feel very good about where I stand in life, and so if anything does happen to me, blessings to you all. And maybe looking into this more deeply would serve all humanity a little better if something were to happen. Again, be well.